welcome to Spartan Football Weekly, this special edition inside the event center, the brand new Walt McPherson Court. Tonight on the show, San Jose State will recap the 34-24 win over UNLV. We'll also talk with San Jose State men's basketball coach Dave Wojcik about the first exhibition matchup and hear a story from Get Sports Focus on senior wide receiver Chandler Jones. But first, let's go back to the highlights against UNLV. Here we go, San Jose State taking on UNLV, search of their fourth win in a row and trying to keep UNLV out of bowl eligibility. So San Jose State taking on the Rebels. First drive of the game was a big gain for Jared Lawson on the first play of the drive, and it would set the tone for San Jose State's run game throughout the course of the afternoon. And how about the catch from Tyler Winston making a dive to his left on this play? Let's look at it again because we can get the magnifying glass in there and making the dive to his left, 14-yard gain for San Jose State and a first down. After converting on a 4th and 4, fails, connects with Chandler Jones for a 13-yard touchdown, and it's quickly 7-0 San Jose State in the first quarter. Now, after a Benet Benwickery interception on the next possession from UNLV, the Spartans' next drive showed some trickery. Billy Freeman on the touchdown pass to Kyle Nunn for a 30-yard score, and it was 14-0 San Jose State. The Spartans coming into that game 22 points alone in the season in the first quarter, and they had 14 in this game in the first. The defense played well as a couple of interceptions, and here's a big sack from Christian Tago. Now more from Jared Lawson after a 19-yard rush here. He had this 31-yard touchdown. He was breaking ankles all the way and to the score, and another big gain for him, and it made the score 21-3 for San Jose State at the time. Let's take another look at it, and look at the window he fits through right there. Just powers through that gap to get the score for San Jose State. And then the Rebels would make it interesting starting their comeback. This Marcus Sullivan 19-yard touchdown reception made it 24-10. Thomas Tucker had quite possibly the biggest run of the day here on a 37-yard touchdown score, his first in a Spartans jersey, and it made it 31-17 on his first touchdown of the season. UNLV's next possession, Caleb Herring gets them back into the end zone, making it a one-score game, but Austin Lopez is money from 44 yards out, sealing the game for San Jose State. The 34-24 win, their fourth consecutive victory, and the Spartans now in sole possession of second place in the Mountain West Division as they get the win in UNLV. We'll take our first break here on the program. When we come back, we'll hear about senior wide receiver Chandler Jones and all the accolades he's amounted in his career. More on Spartan Football Weekly when we return.
Una más. Come on, baby. Una más.
Una más.
Una más.
Una más. We taste better for lunch or dinner.
It takes intense preparation, finesse, and precision to be crowned as the king in a unanimous decision. It bobs and it weaves around every corner. With its hit list of features, this car's a performer. So roll on to victory with the path of least resistance. The new 2014 Scion TC is made to go the distance.
Did you know that Sarah Winchester had a crew of carpenters building 24 hours a day for 38 years? It's true. Her mansion grew to 160 rooms during continuous construction from 1884 to 1922. And she didn't have to worry about building permits. Come and see their beautiful but bizarre handiwork. Guided tours daily at the world-famous Winchester Mystery House, San Jose. Minutes away, ages apart.
Chandler Jones is now the all-time leading scorer in terms of wide receivers and catching touchdown passes at San Jose State. Get Sports Focus reporter Angela Santoro has a story of the senior wide receiver.
Angela Santoro standing here beside Chandler Jones. Chandler, the last time that we talked, it was before the season had started. Now there is a little bit of a change of plan because of all the injuries that had happened. Kind of talk to me about what the season's been like so far.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster. We started off a little slow. I mean, our first game we got a win against Sac State, and then the next 3 we dropped. But after that, we picked it up and started playing a lot better. And the young guys had to step up because we had a lot of older guys who had gotten hurt, and our offense is really rolling right now. So that's really been a change, and it's just been a roller coaster ride. It's been pretty crazy, but it's been pretty exciting though, watching all these young guys play.
You've had some pretty exciting games so far, multiple 3-touchdown games. Kind of talk to us about what it's been like for you to have such a successful senior season so far.
It's exciting. Finishing your last year, you want to go out with a bang, and being able to have so many exciting games, so many big games. Your senior year has been great. It's just been fun, and like I was saying, just watching all the young guys, it's been great seeing them play, because I remember my freshman year going out and playing, and I was making a few plays my freshman year, and seeing young guys like Crawley and Tyler Winston do that now, it's just exciting.
So you're kind of talking about how you were once there yourself. Do you feel like that's helped you kind of transitioning to being the senior, kind of helping out the freshmen?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of the same experiences that I had my freshman year, they're going through right now, and just me being able to talk to them and help them out throughout this process of them as a freshman, I feel like is beneficial. And with so many young guys being able to play, and so many older guys who started their freshman year on this team with Keith Smith and Noel Grigsby, a lot of older guys who started as freshmen, we all can help out the young guys who are doing the same that we were. So it's great.
Coming up this week, you guys have San Diego State, who's right behind you in the Mountain West. Kind of talk to us a little bit about that game.
It's important. We got San Diego State, and they're a team that's fighting right now, and they're doing a great job right now. And they're, like I said, they're tied with us right now for second. So it's just a big game, because every game in the Mountain West is getting bigger and bigger each week as the time goes on, because you're trying to play for that title and for the championship. So each week is big, and this is a real big game for us.
All right, so you guys are 1 win away from being bowl eligible. What does that mean to you, coming from last year, being in the Military Bowl as well?
It's great. Last year we went to the Military Bowl, and we had a big run late in the year, and this year we're kind of doing something a little similar right now. We got a nice run going, and we just got to keep it going, just keep playing hard like we do week in and week out, and keep making plays. So getting that next win is going to be big for us, but we just got to make sure we come out and play. So.
Awesome. Okay, well, best of luck to the rest of the season so far, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for your Get Sports Focus updates.
We'll take another break here on the show, and up next, Dave Wojcik following the first exhibition game for San Jose State's men's basketball team. More on Spartan Football Weekly when we return.
The Learfield Sports Directors Cup is the officially sanctioned annual award recognizing all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. NACDA and USA Today co-founded this esteemed honor in 1993, still widely recognized as the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Uno más.
Let's go, uno más.
Uno más.
Uno más. We taste better for lunch or dinner.
Sergio Romo, pitcher and 2-time World Series champion, a Bay Area legend. E40, platinum recording artist and actor, a Bay Area legend. Kinder's Barbecue, 3 generations of hard work and family pride. Award-winning barbecue, sauces, and meats. Kinder's Barbecue, a Bay Area legend.
Welcome back to Spartan Football Weekly, on location this week with San Jose State head coach Dave Wojcik following the loss that San Jose State took in their first exhibition matchup. And coach, a frustrating loss, but we were just talking that it's something that you want this team to go through is the failures before the season, to learn about your team.
Yeah, I learned a lot about our team tonight, what guys are going to step up, what guys aren't, who works well together. And so it's definitely a learning experience tonight, and I'm proud of them. You know, down 18, I think it was, and fought back to possibly take the lead. But there's a lot to learn from tonight's game.
Now, you did have that 14-0 run. That was a major positive in this game. Just talk about the resiliency, because some young teams, when they have two freshman guards, will not show that type of resilience.
Yeah, my guys, they don't think that way, and I like that about them.
You can't teach that.
They can't teach that, and they fought and they scrapped, and they'll continue to do that. I'll be very disappointed if we don't play hard and we don't play unselfishly in games this year.
And what did you think of the play from Rashad Muhammad and Jalen James, two of the freshmen that were
Yeah,
getting
they
a lot of
played
minutes?
really well. They played really well tonight. I got to watch the tape and find out exactly what we did defensively, but offensively they did a good job. And Chris Cunningham played a great game. I mean, he had 17 points, 17 rebounds, so I can't ask for much more from him.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for this team, just judging by the way that the young players played. Now, got to get some shots to go down, and there was some open looks for some players, but that's just something that's maybe the rust falling off.
Yeah, I think it's the rust. His first game, jitters, nervousness, whatever they want to call it. But as I tell them, Justin, it's about players making plays. I don't care what year you are. If you're a player, you make a play. And the other thing is too, we kept it vanilla tonight. We played all man-to-man. We didn't show a lot, this and that. I got a lot more in the package, and I just wanted to work on our basics and rebounding, transition defense, and half-court man defense.
Now, what's the process going away from this game before you play the next exhibition game?
We'll tighten it up tomorrow. We'll watch film, tighten it up, make those adjustments. Won't go hard, extremely hard tomorrow, because I want them fresh for Wednesday, but we'll definitely watch a lot of film tomorrow.
Now, is that something you try to do on purpose with one day off in between to try and simulate the regular season?
I try to, so it sets us up for next week when we go to Chicago and play 3 games in 3 days. We have to be able to bounce back day after day. So that's the reason why we had these 2 back-to-back.
Now, I want to ask you about the defense that you guys played tonight. You mentioned the man-to-man, but I think that 14-0 run was really started by a couple really nice defensive stops, and that was something that was kind of iffy at the beginning part of the game, but really stepped up later on.
Yeah, and that's something we got to teach the young kids. It's not our offense. Our defense was the issue tonight.
Yeah.
We missed a lot of shots, but we gave them a lot of opportunities down at the other end by not guarding the ball, not team defense. And defense creates your offense, and that's what happened when we had the 14-0 run.
And what really were they doing to generate some open looks? They have some good three-point shooters on that team.
They did. Rob does a great job with their team. They're experienced. They shoot the ball well. It was actually a good game for us with an older team that can shoot the 3. And they caught us. They did some misdirection stuff, and our guys didn't communicate very well, and therefore they had open shots.
All right, Coach. Well, unfortunate for the loss, but you get right back on the horse on Wednesday, huh?
Absolutely. Thanks, Justin.
All right, thanks, Coach. More on Spartan Football Weekly when we return.
It takes intense preparation, finesse, and precision to be crowned as the king in a unanimous decision. It bobs and it weaves around every corner. With its hit list of features, this car is a performer. So roll on to victory with the path of least resistance. The new 2014 Scion TC is made to go the distance.
Did you know that Sarah Winchester had a crew of carpenters building 24 hours a day for 38 years? It's true. Her mansion grew to 160 rooms during continuous construction from 1884 to 1922. And she didn't have to worry about building permits. Come and see their beautiful but bizarre handiwork. Guided tours daily at the world-famous Winchester Mystery House, San Jose. Minutes away, ages apart.
Una más. Come on, baby. Una más.
Una más.
Una más. Una más. We taste better for lunch or dinner.
Welcome back to Spartan Football Weekly, now joined by San Jose State head coach Ron Carriger. And after the UNLV victory, 24-34, San Jose State on a roll, 4 in a row. I must feel pretty good, Coach. And I got to ask you, the 2 fourth-down conversions in that first quarter. First of all, the first quarter, just great to get momentum and some traction in that first quarter where you've struggled this season.
Right, absolutely. Just a gut feel of, sometimes you're on that fringe of if you punt it, you can go in the end zone and you don't gain all that much if it's a touchback. But just a feel of how we're executing, short yardage situation, what we've seen on film, and just really pleased, for obvious reasons, that we converted because we went on down and scored, and that really helped our offense get off to a good start.
Is that something you look at more on the road, maybe, to try and get those fourth down conversions, set the tone, and get the crowd out of it, maybe?
Well, regardless, really, home or on the road, it's huge to get those conversions, and I want to send a message to our players. Hey, we go for it. We are playing to win the game, and now sometimes that doesn't mean you can always go for it on all fourth downs. You've got to be wise in choosing, but so far the guys have come up for the most part, and we've converted those.
Well, you look back at one of those touchdown passes, Billy Freeman. Now, we knew he was a quarterback in high school, so he had some of that pedigree, but well-designed play, threw it out to Kyle Nunn, who was in coverage, but Billy Freeman able to get that ball in there.
Right. It was defended well by the cornerback, but he had his back to the play, and Billy, how many tight ends do you see throw passes in games? I think Lawrence Fan told us it's been a long time since a tight end's thrown a pass. He went back 25 years or so, but nice job, Billy, coming around on the reverse, putting some air on the ball, giving Kyle Nunn a chance to come back and get it, and a big play for our second touchdown of the game.
Now, with a play like that, is that something you practice throughout the week, and so he gets a feel for it and maybe gets his arm ready to go for a pass like that?
It is. We felt like there was an opportunity for it, and we practiced it. We practice it once a day for a couple days, just so we get the feel of it. And then that doesn't mean it's going to be called. We have to get the right situation, the right hash, the correct hash rather, and be able to run it. But it came up, and Coach Doherty called it, and it was a big play for us.
Well, certainly the run game for San Jose State was the story of that game. Jared Lawson just continues to impress. 187 yards, and then when you needed it the most, Thomas Tucker came up big with that 37-yard touchdown run. The run game, just talk about it.
Yeah, I'm real pleased. Let's start with the cohesiveness of our offensive line. Those guys are playing together. They're communicating calls. They're on the same page. They're opening it up. And credit UNLV. They just said, hey, we want to stop the passing game because we put up big numbers the previous couple weeks. They said, we want to stop that. And fortunately, our guys seized the opportunity. When they stopped the passing game, we seized it in the run game and had some nice runs. So I'll start up front with the offensive line. Jared Lawson runs hard. He's tough to tackle, tough to wrap up. He's always finishing forward, so that that 2 or 3 yard run can turn into a 4 or 5 yard run the way he finishes forward. And then Thomas Tucker's been there as well, finishing. You give him a hole and he'll take it for a nice gain. So a big addition, moving Thomas to running back.
That touchdown run that Lawson had, he fit through such a tight window and just seemed like to weave his way through the defense. And he hits those gaps at such speed, it makes him so difficult to tackle.
Very much. It reminded me of the Colorado State game in the second half when he hit it right up the middle too, and he's so quick, and you give him just a little opening and he'll find it, and he hits it at full speed, and he's tough to catch.
Well, now the importance of that too, as you kind of talked about, is that when David Fales doesn't have all that great of a game, just over 150 yards passing, it's important that the run game steps up like it did.
It is, and I just believe you don't want to be one-dimensional because, like I've said, inclement weather can throw off your passing game. Maybe you're just not in sync for whatever reason, and you've got to be able to have run the football and have balance. And like I said, they were very determined to stop the passing game, and they did some things that hurt them in the run game, and so we took advantage of it.
Now, on the defensive side of the football, we knew that UNLV was a very good running team. Cornette was their all-time leading rusher, is their all-time leading rusher, but you held him to 86 yards rushing. What was the key for the defense to hold them that game?
Well, we were gap sound. You've got to be able to stay gap sound. You've got to be fundamental in your tackling, and I think our team over the last month has continued to improve in the open field tackling area, and guys just made plays. They did a good job keeping things in check in front of them, and we were right. We held their leading rusher, their all-time leading rusher, and a guy who's rushed for 1,000 yards to under 100 yards, and that was a big job, great job for our defense.
And final thing I'll ask you before we take a break here is Austin Lopez. It's the special teams player of the week in the Mountain West Conference, and he came up with a big field goal when you guys needed it. Ice in the veins.
He did. And before the first one, remember, we had the ball on the 4 yard line, and that's a tough angle up there, and that was...
that's where he struggled this year.
He struggled earlier in the year. here recently, and he came in. We practiced it during the week. We script the ball on certain hashes, and we scripted it on the 4-yard line, and he nailed that first one, and then the second one put us up by 10 with 4 minutes to go or so. So that was a big catch, big hit under clutch conditions, and proud of Austin.
We'll take a quick break with Coach Carriger. When we come back, we'll preview the San Diego State game. More on Spartan Football Weekly when we return.
Uno más.
Uno más.
Let's go. Uno más.
Uno más.
Uno Mas. We taste better for lunch or dinner.
The Learfield Sports Directors Cup is the officially sanctioned annual award recognizing all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. NACDA and USA Today co-founded this esteemed honor in 1993, still widely recognized as the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Welcome back on Spartan Football Weekly, continuing to talk with San Jose State head coach Ron Carriger, and now we'll preview the San Diego State game. And it's a game, Coach, I don't know, maybe you don't look too much into it, but you win this game, now you're bowl eligible. And I know that might not be the ultimate goal. You want to keep winning football games, but that has to be pretty special.
It would be. It'd be nice to do that. But again, our focus is just so one game at a time and take care of business, whatever at stake down the road. We just want to be able to play Spartan football and continue to improve. I gauge our program how we improve throughout the season. I think we've gotten better, and we need to continue to do that. And most importantly, our players buy into that. They understand that. They come to practice with an attitude, a work ethic of wanting to continue to improve.
Now, last year against the Aztecs, it was a 4-point win for San Jose State, and it was really the game that established the Spartans as a real contender. This year, both teams pretty established, but San Diego State has some inconsistencies in their game.
Well, I think they've had some challenges from players getting injured and whatnot. But I know this: they're still the defending Mountain West Conference champions, and that's how we look at them. And until someone dethrones them or knocks them off, they still are in that. And so our guys understand the importance of this game, and to get to the top of the mountain, you've got to go through every opponent, in particular the defending champions. So it's an important game. Our guys are excited, and one they're very much looking forward to. Now,
they played Fresno State very close, got a win last week as well. Do you see them with pretty good momentum coming into this game?
I do. They had a nice win against University of New Mexico. And their defense has played multiple styles of offenses in recent weeks. I mean, they've gone from the shotgun spread with Fresno to New Mexico runs an option style to us, a little more balanced in what we do. But they do a good job creating pressure. It's a unique defense. It's not a conventional front. It's a lot of movement, a lot of twisting, stunning, a lot of blitzing to try and take the quarterback off his game, out of his comfort zone. So we have to do a good job protecting our quarterback, giving him time to be able to make those throws.
Now it's that 3-3-5 defense.
Correct,
can you try and explain that a little bit?
Yeah, it's 3 down linemen that are more athletic guys. They're not big, your conventional 290, 300-pound linemen. They're 260, 270. They're athletic guys. Then they have their 3 linebackers that are always moving. They're constantly on the move. And then the five secondary guys are with 2 strong safeties that are kind of we call them the overhang players, where they can blitz, they can drop off into coverage, and they have to be very diverse in what they can do, from a coverage standpoint to a blitzing standpoint to playing zone dropping. And Rocky does a really good job mixing up what those guys do. They're unpredictable in what they're going to play in certain situations and against different formations. So we have to be prepared for a lot of things to come our way because they do so much.
Now, I think you kind of automatically think that with that defensive setup, it might be easier to run against them, but what is their run defense like?
Well, they because of the blitzing and stunning, it causes issues for the offense identifying their defense. You know, everything offensively you want to hone in and identify certain people, and so everyone gets on target, on the same page. And when there's all that movement, and to extreme example, they played Fresno, their defensive linemen were standing up during the course of the game in second and long, and really makes it tough to identify people. But we have to do a good job getting on the same page to be able to block it all up.
Now, looking on the other side of the ball at the offense, Adam Uema, I remember having a great game for the Aztecs last year against San Jose State, having another good season. And their running back core, with the 2 that they have, seems like the power side of their offense.
Definitely. and their fullback number 40 is a kind of a throwback guy. You don't see true fullbacks. You don't see I-formation football as much now with the spread offenses, shotgun. But they do that. They huddle, they line up in I-formation, and they have a very good power run game. And their answer to people shutting down the power run game is play action pass. And so you get those safeties start coming up, and then they take a shot down the field. They have a nice screen game. Coach Bob Toledo, who I coached with at UCLA for 9 years, does a real good job with their offense. And so I know they're going to want to be physical. They're going to want to move the chains on us, and we've got to do a good job defending our gaps.
Well, that's an interesting matchup now because the way the San Jose State's been playing against the rush, come up against a running defense and maybe a different look, but it has to maybe be a little bit easier to kind of prepare for.
It will be a challenge because we have not lined up to see a conventional run game, a power run game, when you see that fullback in I formation, and I call it a downhill run game. They're just coming right at you. You have to be able to take on the fullback, shed the block, and be in position to make the tackle.
Now, their offensive line, 21 sacks this year that they've given up. Is that because they played a couple tough opponents early, or is that a vulnerability?
I think a big part of that was the tough opponents early on. Oregon State did a good job putting pressure on them early, and Fresno recently got some sacks there. So I think they've made a quarterback change, and you see a little shift in trying to get rid of the ball quicker and not the long drop back pass protections. So I think they've honed those things up in recent weeks in that area.
Now, Coach, we talked about earlier in the season the schedule and all the road games. You've reached the point where you have 3 more home games and just 1 road game. So that has to be a little bit of relief. And the fact that you're getting more fans in the stands also has to be pretty comforting.
Very exciting. And even going back a week, how nice it was in Las Vegas. Great Spartan turnout, great fans, the bands. So we appreciate the cheerleaders, all the sacrifices they make to come down and cheer on the Spartans. Our players' families were all there. That's a neat thing about being in the Mountain West is it's regional, and our families can come and see their sons play. And so that's real exciting. Spartan Stadium for 3 of our next 4 games. We're looking forward to drawing good crowds and getting great support out there.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Justin.
More on Spartan Football Weekly when we return.
Sergio Romo, pitcher and 2-time World Series champion, a Bay Area legend. E40, platinum recording artist and actor, a Bay Area legend. Kinder's Barbecue, 3 generations of hard work and family pride. Award-winning barbecue, sauces, and meats. Kinder's Barbecue, a Bay Area legend.
Did you know that Sarah Winchester had a crew of carpenters building 24 hours a day for 38 years? It's true. Her mansion grew to 160 rooms during continuous construction from 1884 to 1922. And she didn't have to worry about building permits. Come and see their beautiful but bizarre handiwork. Guided tours daily at the world-famous Winchester Mystery House, San Jose. Minutes away, ages apart.
It takes intense preparation, finesse, and precision to be crowned as the king in a unanimous decision. It bobs and it weaves around every corner. With its hit list of features, this car is a performer. So roll on to victory with the path of least resistance. The new 2014 Scion TC is made to go the distance.
That's it for this week's show. Again, San Jose State takes on San Diego State, the Aztecs, in town at Spartan Stadium. 7:30 kickoff time this Saturday. Pregame show will start at 1590 KLIV at 7 o'clock. Tickets are still available by calling 408-924-7589 or visiting sjsuspartans.com. We'll see you next time on Spartan Football Weekly.